Hello, hello, everybody. We're in the pipe, 5x5. Sosa, you are first. Congratulations. Thanks for being here. For all you early arrivers, please throw a like on the stream. Helps me get a little exposure as we kick things off here on a Saturday night. I will be very curious to see how many people join into the stream tonight. Hopefully you saw that carbonated beverage being opened, or heard that carbonated beverage being opened. It is a Celsius caffeine drink. I don't really need one because I'm pretty well rested, ready to go, but I'll sip the Celsius as the stream goes on, and we will talk all things Rise of Kingdoms. Seba, welcome to the stream. Thank you for your support as a member of Officer Chat. Officer Chat is a $5 monthly membership and a great way to support my content here on YouTube. But it is unnecessary. You can just watch the stream, participate in the chat. If you throw a like on the stream, that helps. If you subscribe to the channel, that helps. But really, everybody contributes. Just being here, watching, lurking, adding to the view count, that helps things out because people see that others are watching. And at that point, you know, they think it's a good stream, and so they tune in as well. Mizam, welcome to the stream. As you might be able to tell, I still haven't upgraded my internet, and so the stream quality is not amazing. I apologize for that. I really need to call my cable company and improve that. But you know, hopefully the stream quality is decent. Hopefully you can see what's going on the screen. Right now we're just spectating this altar fight between 1718 and a couple of younger kingdoms here. I believe it's 2728 and then 2921 maybe? Let's take a look. 2919. But I just thought this was kind of interesting. It's near the end of the altar. 1718 has the altar. 20 minutes to go. But it was interesting that, like, this is a wonderful spot for siege. You know, ranged marches are just, like, very, very good in this spot because they can just do steady damage to the enemy. And this kingdom here, 2728, is Black Mamba's kingdom, by the way. Which, for people who used to hang out in the Cavalry Discord, I believe Black Mamba was a infamous moderator of the Cavalry Discord. You know, Mamba definitely has very good stats, right? I was never in the Discord at the time of Mamba's reign in that Discord, but I heard secondhand lots and lots of things about Mamba, that he had a lot of, let's say, interesting takes about the game. But Mamba does have very good stats. I mean, three wins in three Lost Kingdoms participated in. Very good kills here. Very good ratio as well. Almost 16 billion KP. Over 80 million deads. You know, pretty good barb kills at 275k. Not a ton of alliance helps, but plenty of resource gathered as well. So Mamba does have very good stats. And it looks like they're a pretty young kingdom that has already won 2 stars in Season of Conquest. But even in North American uptime, and I don't know if Mamba is American or European, but anyway, I would imagine there's plenty of American players in both of these kingdoms. Even in North American uptime, 1718 here has they have full control of this altar. Brohemus, welcome to the stream. Sand Kasa, welcome to the stream. Thank you all for being here. Really appreciate it. Let me see if I'm able to upgrade the video quality on my own stream. Looks like I mostly can. Okay, cool. Lug, welcome to the stream. Glad to have you back. Dark Stalkers have spawned. That may disrupt things a tiny little bit here. The red team did have some ranged earlier. They don't have the ranged now. Oh, that looks like looks like a very optimistic Joan of Arc ranged march is coming along. But I think ranged is pretty good on both sides here, actually, because the fight is very fixed. Like, where the fight is taking place is very fixed. The fight is taking place right at the corner of this altar, because 1718 doesn't want to let them into the altar. Although they could. They actually could let them into the altar at this point. Or no, they couldn't. They couldn't. Yeah, so you know where the battle is here, and therefore ranged is kind of in a nice spot. But because 1718 has so much control here, they actually can push out. And so this Joan of Arc ranged is in a tough spot for sure. She's definitely in a tough spot, but she's going to try to plink away. She's setting up, and she's going to try to plink away here for a couple seconds. And she's going to get some shots off here. Let's see how this trade does for Scarlet Witch. Because I think that's the real issue, or the real question with Siege is, do you get a good trade to where it's worth doing, right? Because if you're using your main account to use the Siege March, and you get a negative trade, then that means you're using your speed ups and your resources to heal those siege troops. And the question then becomes, is it worth it? Is it worth it to use that Siege March when you could just, you know, use your resources on a regular march instead? So I think the play, and you could see even this Gonzalo here that's been sitting here, who has probably been barely attacked. I would bet that this Gonzalo has potentially not been touched this whole time. The Margaret as well, and another Gonzalo here. Actually, this person's name is Jay. I wonder if he's the same Jay that's in 960. Because there's a Jay in 960 that's like a siege legend. Night Fury, welcome to the stream. Thanks for being here. Oh, I finally got that burp out. I've had a burp just sitting at the bottom of my throat for like 10 minutes. I finally burped it out. But like the issue with the Siege is like they have to trade sort of okay, right? Because if they don't trade sort of okay, then you're better off just using a regular march. And so I think a lot of what, you know, I think with Siege, you want to kind of do it on a farm. You want to do it on like an alt account. Then you can maybe control at the same time as you control your main account. And just sort of put it out there from time to time. Get some value here and there. But if you buff your Siege March up enough, which I'm going to imagine that this Gonzalo March, or maybe a Margaret March. I think the best Siege March is Margaret Gonzalo. Margaret primary, Gonzalo secondary. That's sort of what I'm hearing. And if you can get like decent gear on it, which there is purple siege gear, and have decent crystal tech. That's the other problem, right? The other problem is that you have to have crystal tech. Like this person here, Scarlet Witch, is obviously a farm. And Scarlet Witch is trying to put in work. Nobody touched the Scarlet Witch. But because the trades are so bad, because she doesn't have any gear, because she's not actually a ranged commander, and because she has no crystal tech, the trade is bad. So ultimately, it's a pretty big commitment to do the ranged march. But if you can get it to a point where you're like getting like a neutral trade in like, you know, decent situations, then in like really good situations like this, you can probably get like a nice positive trade. Let's see the stats on this player here. Let's see if we can see their siege stats. 0 ranged points. Interesting. They have 0 ranged points. And yet they're doing ranged damage right now. That's weird. That is weird. Night Fury, we are in the off season right now. We're actually in the off season. I'm just sort of spectating. I'm spectating the end of this altar fight here because I just thought it was kind of interesting. It was interesting to watch the ranged marches in action. Luke says, "Yeah, I'm building up a siege march on all of my farms." Yeah, I mean, see, Luke, I would be careful, man. I would be careful because I think you have to get a bit of crystal tech on the siege account. I actually think you probably have to get a bit of crystal tech. I don't think it's just free. I don't think it's free. I don't think having a ranged march in a good position is free. I think you take, like, counterattack damage that really can make the trade tough. But I am building a siege on a farm as well. I just started it. I literally just started it, so it's a work in progress. I'm probably about 6 months away from being able to use it. But it's on like a different account. It's on a different account than my main account, and so I think I will be able to like use it at the same time as I use my main account on a different computer. And so yeah, I mean, siege is, you know, it's a thing. It's a thing. It's not good in all fights, but in certain types of fights like this, like an altar battle, it's good. Or like when there's a river. Like, let's look at some of these zones and look for a river where siege might have been nice to use, right? I mean, maybe somewhere like here. Well, no, that's not a good example. You need a river where like the enemy absolutely cannot reach you, right? You need a river where the enemy cannot reach your siege march at all. Maybe something like this, right? Like, let's say somehow you're on this side, your team is on this side, and there's like a fight like over here, right? Like, let's say you're like on the attack and there's a fight over here. If you can put your siege march over here, where the enemy just like would have to walk through like your entire flag line to attack you, like where the enemy has to walk through like 20 cities to attack you, and you can put a siege march over here on this scenic river and just ploink away to enemies on the other side. That's like an amazing situation for a siege, and you know, potentially it could take like an hour. You could be fighting here for like an hour, and you could just park a siege march the whole time and get value. DRD, no, we are in the off season right now. My marches look like they're in KBK because I'm gonna do a barb keep here in a few minutes. That's why I'm misleading you a bit there. Is this where we were? Yeah, this is where we were. So I mean, Siege definitely does not seem OP to me. From what I've seen of it, it does not seem OP because you still take counterattack damage. But I think that as we see more sort of like, you know, expertised siege marches with good gear, As long as they can get okay crystal tech, I think that those siege marches will do very well. You know, I think like quality siege marches deployed at only the good times will do very well. I wouldn't really do it on a main account. I don't think it's worthwhile on a main, but I think on farms, it's very good. Gosu, welcome to the stream. Gosu says Siege is trash. I mean, I think that's a fair take. Because as I just said, like, it's definitely not OP. Siege is definitely not OP. And it only really works in select situations. But if you have sort of the time and the inclination to build something that only works in select situations, I think in those cases you can get value from them. But that's about it from this KVK here. This is a Tides of War KVK. Really small map. Really small map here. 1718, which is an A kingdom. You know, 1718 is a Korean A kingdom. And they have a camp all to themselves. They're all by themselves on this Tides of War map. So, I mean, that's pretty freaking nice, right? Like, that's pretty dang nice. Looks like there's level 7 passes here. So it looks like Tides of War is kind of a heroic anthem-y type of map, where like you have altar battles, you have legit altar battles, and you also have past 7 wars before Kingsland. Whereas like whereas Sword of Stratagems is not really like that. Sword of Stratagems really did not have a lot of past battles at all. Did not have any significant altar fights. And, you know, in Sword of Stratagems, the Kingsland is very big, whereas here in Tides, you can see that the Kingsland is very small. Very small. And so I think that's a key difference between Sword of Stratagems and Tides, is the size of the Kingsland. It goes and says Siege is too much of a commitment for a gimmick. That's fair enough. That's fair enough. Seba says, is 1718 Hanmano's kingdom? No, Hanmano... Well, yeah, Hanmano migrated to 1718. Yeah, Hanmano's main is in 1718. It migrated from 1034 to 1718. Harry Gaming says, we both know Siege is trash because it's countered by infantry, cavalry, and archers. Alright, fair enough. But, I mean, I am building a Siege March on a farm. And I will use it at some point, you know? I will use it at some point. I just want to take a look at Alliance Invictus, like, real quick. Just to see how big the Kingsland is. So this is the 1093. Oh, it's small. Oh, wow. So the Kingsland in Alliance Invictus is also very small. Yeah, this is really interesting how... It's really interesting how the Sword of Stratagems Kingsland is massive, but then almost all the other Kingslands are very small. This Havana zone is... Even Havana is not that big. When you consider that literally... like 20 kingdoms are going to enter Havana to fight. It's really not that big of a zone for 20 kingdoms. Especially when some of them are some of the biggest kingdoms in the game. Like 188, 1818, and 1846. And since we're here, let's take a look at what happened in... Where was the fight? The fight was here, right? Holy crap, are they not even fighting? Are they not even fighting in this zone? Holy Toledo. So here's Water Camp. Here's 1093's allies right here. What the hell happened in this zone, dude? What happened in this zone? Oh my gosh. Are you serious? Did they not... So these two camps These two Six Kingdom camps are enemies. Blue here is enemies with orange. This is a contested zone of libido that the fight took place like 2 days ago. Wait, what the hell happened here? Does anybody know what happened in this KVK? Because if I'm not wrong, there used to be like a ton of forts here. Like there used to be like an absolute ton of forts, right? Like a ton of forts. Both teams dropped a bunch of forts. And now what is going on here? Now they're just like at peace. They're not touching each other. They're not like... What? And there's farming. There were people farming in this zone, right? Yeah, there's people farming gold. Wait, somebody from 1846 is in this zone? Wait, what? Am I not looking at this right? Yeah, because 1846 is here. How is 1846 in this zone? Like, I'm definitely in the right KVK. Aren't I? Maybe I'm not. Yeah, 93. Wait, maybe I'm not. Oh, I must be... Yeah, there's like a bug or something. There's like a bug, right? Oh, did I go to the second domain? Oh, I'm probably in the second domain. That's what I'm in. Okay. Yep, I'm in the second domain. Here we go. Okay, alright, this makes more sense. So here's Libido. Yeah, and as expected, Water Camp has locked in Greenwood here. Water Camp looked pretty dominant at the beginning of this KVK, or at the beginning of this zone opening. I don't know how long the fighting here took place. It was like the one thing that I kind of wanted to find out before this stream, but it just was like, I wasn't sure who to ask. But I was a little bit curious how long the fighting in this zone of Libido lasted. Just because I feel like if you're Greenwood, I feel like this was the best opportunity to use... This was potentially the best opportunity to use your troops and get like pretty good value for your troops fighting against Water Camp. Because once they go into Havana, once Greenwood rotates over here into Havana, I don't know how much they're really going to get done. I mean, they might get a lot done because they might win the zone. So it's definitely debatable. But in terms of having the most fun and having sort of like a fairish type of fight, I feel like Greenwood was best off fighting here in Libido. But I don't think the fight lasted very long. Video games, welcome to the stream. Second domain means like if you have more than 900 cities that are City Hall 25, then you enter the domain system. And you enter the domain system, and then if you're not selected as part of the 900 cities to go into your number 1 domain, then you get assigned to either domain number 2 or domain number 3. And at that point, you're in like a different KVK. You're in a different Lost Kingdom. So I was looking at the wrong one. Luke says it's going to be a party in Havana, dancing cha-cha-cha. Yeah, Havana's going to be wild. I mean, both zones will be extremely interesting, right? Both zones will be super, super interesting. In the smaller zone, it's going to be 1093 against 1960 and 2489. We expect that 1093 will be on the defensive in that zone. They will set up a fort wall and try to hold one of the passes into Kingsland. And then at the same time, as that's happening, 1093 simply has to hope and pray that their allies in 188, along with Water Camp, that they will win Havana as they cha-cha-cha with the enemies. And, you know, if 1093's allies win Havana, then 1093 has a fighting chance, assuming they can get into Kingsland. But, you know, if 1093 is just like sort of backed up at a fort wall and they're watching their allies lose in Havana, then I would say that at that point the KVK is actually over, right? Because if 1093 is losing straight up to 960 and 2489, and 1093's allies are also losing, then at that point, there's just like there's no win condition. There's no way that you can feasibly win that war. So it's going to be a great war, but I think at the same time, it could potentially end before Kingsland. Luke says, yeah, man, going back and forth dancing, you know? I remember your 3-year-old video helped me fight better in the field. You know, the dancing thing is interesting. Because if you watch, like, the meta... Like, if you watch Plato's live streams, for example. If you watch Plato's live streams during our last war, they're, like, very, very aggressive. Like, none of the way that they tell their players to fight is a dance. What they tell their players to do is just, like, charge into the enemy. Like, charge into the enemy, attack constantly, and then sad face your marches. And I've seen like I've seen a few like very good kingdoms play that way. Like 2064 also plays that way. They ball up, they get superior numbers, and then they just charge right into you and attack like nonstop. So I think sometimes you dance, but sometimes dancing is bad. And it's really about you have to strike a balance between what your teammates want to do and what you should do as a team. Because what your teammates want to do is they want to dance. Like, we all want to dance. Any player who has like decent control of their marches, we want to dance. We want to run away as soon as we get attacked. We want to pull that enemy into our ball, and we want to just sort of like stay out in the field as long as we can and get a good trade, right? That's what we all want to do. But if everybody does that, then the enemy has basically two options. They can dance with you and get a better trade than they would if you had charged into them. Or if the enemy has like superior numbers and like the superior army, and you try to dance with them, then that is perfect for the enemy. Because all you're doing is backing up. You're just non-stop backing up, and they are non-stop attacking into you. And so in fights like that, you literally get a worse trade by dancing than being like super aggressive, like even if you lose, right? So dancing does help, and like there's a lot of fights, especially like casual back and forth fights, like the fight we saw at that altar. In fights like that, you kind of just have to dance because like that's what your teammates are doing. That's what the enemy is doing. You just like gotta do it, right? You just have to. But I think I think we're overly dancey at this point. I think people dance a little bit too much in the game right now. And certainly in 770, I think we dance a little too much. Luke says, I'd love a video update about field fighting. Yeah, I definitely want to make one, but I'll just be honest and say, like, I don't really know the proper strategy for open field fighting. Like, we've been in the last three, or the last two KVKs we've been in, we've like really gotten beat in the open field quite soundly. And I don't know if that's because of the account strength. I don't know if that's because of the way we fight. I don't know if the enemy just had more people online, or a combination of all those things. But I don't quite know what the right way to fight in the open field is at the moment, right? I think I need to call for like aggression more often when we're fighting. But like, I don't think you just tell your players to always be aggressive either. So it's kind of tough. It's kind of tough. I think it's situational, basically. There are some fights when you dance, and some fights that you get very aggressive in. So everybody's yelling to refresh quests, so I'm just gonna refresh all these training quests here. Alliance mobilization is happening right now. And this is like pretty much an R4 event. Like it's obviously the activity of your kingdom and how much money your kingdom is willing to spend to do this event effectively. Obviously that is a like a factor in this. I never know whether to refresh this one or not. I'm gonna refresh this one at this hour. Destroy 40 barbarian forts. People can do it, but I haven't seen too many people doing that quest. But yeah, the alliance mobilization is very much a activity check of your alliance, a commitment check of your alliance in terms of how much you spend, but it is also dependent on having active officers who go in and do the very, very boring task of refreshing quests. Like refreshing like a ton of quests. I'm even gonna refresh one of these gift quests, because like we just tend to have a lot of these build up and we just never refresh them. So I'm gonna build that up. And we will get this barb keep done here in a moment. Luke says, I think it's also by dragging your opponent to the murder ball. Rookie mistake. I mean, sure, it's about dragging your opponent to the murder ball. And it always has been. That's always been a factor. But as more and more people use a PC to play this game, as more and more people employ dot mode, as people simply get better at the game, there's just less people that get pulled in. Like the number of people that you can pull in, like do like a really like nice pull in where they just get absolutely wrecked by your back line. The number of people that you can pull in is like dropping. It's rapidly dropping in the game. How many people you can actually do that to? You know, I would say that it's down like 200% at least, right? If in a 5-minute fight back a couple years ago, I might be able to pull in like 3 or 4 people, like to an egregious degree, like egregiously pull in someone. If I could do it like 3 or 4 times in 5 minutes back in the day, now I can do it like once, maybe twice, right? If I pull 2 people in a 5-minute time period, then that's actually pretty good. Like that's above average, right? So I mean, I think people are like, I think a lot of people still play like it's the old days. Like a lot of people still fight like it's the old days, and you can just like sit in the back and wait for one of your teammates to pull an enemy in, and then you kill that person who got pulled in. You get a good trade, you know, and your team wins the fight. I think there's a lot of people in 770 who still play that way and fight that way and think the game is that way. But it's just not. It's just not that way anymore, right? Everyone's in dot mode now, and everybody fights very well. And so you can't fight that way anymore. You have to fight more aggressively. You have to sad face more often. You have to maybe potentially take bad trades a little bit more often. You can't get these like amazing trades anymore because people are pretty good at fighting. So we've got a long walk home at this point. 30-minute walk home for all my marches. But we did get that barb keep done. Sosa says you're the hey, listen, if somebody's a tank, that's friggin' amazing. Like people who actually stand at the front of the ball are so valuable. You know, I mean, Lug, you know, as far as like what I would actually say in a video, like what would I if I had to make a video today about open field fighting, like what would I say about it? The thing I would really say is that the thing I would really say is that the more people you have standing at the front center of a ball, the better off you are. Like, the focus needs to be on, like... The focus needs to be on being at, like, the front of the ball, right? Like, I don't know if these guys are going to fight soon or not. Let's see. What's burning here? What is burning in this zone? I mean, this fight here will not be, like, a great example, but the point is, like, obviously when a fight is happening, there's, like, a front of the ball, and then there's, like, a middle and a back, right? Beating in the back, you accomplish almost nothing. Beating in the middle, you really don't accomplish much at all. But if you're in the front with your teammates, then you're like a strong point. You're a strong force together at the exact spot that you want to be, right? You want to have a strong front. The strong front empowers everybody else, and they fight against the strongest, most aggressive, most impactful enemy marches. And so really, like, the whole key, if you want to be like a really, really good open field fighter, is just be at the front of the ball. Be at the front, be with your teammates. Don't be out on the wings. You know, don't be out on the wings if you can help it. Be right at the front of the ball where the majority of the fighting is happening, and do damage to those enemy marches that are right at the front, doing damage to you and your teammates. Like, that's where you have to be. Everything happens at the front. Like, there's really no more pulling in. Everything just happens right here at the front. I don't think, there we go. There we go. There we go. Love these new spectator tools, man. Oh my gosh, they have improved the spectating of this game so freaking much, guys. Video Game says, I remember getting 3 million KP to 400 KP trades with dot mode on a report. Yeah, I mean, in the early days, dot mode crushed for sure. And dot mode is still, like, extremely, extremely powerful. Do I not have the new... No, I do have the new settings on. I guess when you spectate, you can't see the new dot mode. But yeah, dot mode is incredibly powerful. But I think more and more people are using it at this point. And so... I mean, at this point, like, in a fight like this, like... I mean, there's very little fighting going on, right? Like, this is a... This is Heroic Anthem. Yeah, this is, like, Heroic Anthem, like... So there's been fight... These zones have opened for a few days. As we saw when I went through all the Heroic Anthems, this was the only Heroic Anthem where fighting is happening. And so at this point, you know, these two teams have been fighting each other for a few days. At this point, you know, most of these players who are in a fight like this are very good. Like, they've sort of survived. They've done well enough in the first, like, 2 or 3 days of fighting where they still feel confident going out there. Like, their trades have been good enough to where they're still going out there. And so these are, like, generally, like, people who do have very good control of their marches. And you can basically see that in this fight. Like, you're not seeing anybody get pulled in. Like, we can just watch it in dot mode here for a minute. I know the fight's been going on for a little while. Like, earlier on in this fight, you might have seen a few people get pulled in. But, like, at this point, like, pulling people in has, like, no role in this fight at all. Like, it has no role. Like, if your focus in a fight like this is to pull somebody in, then what are you actually doing with your life, right? Now this guy, of course, did get pulled in. Dakalop. But he got away pretty quick, right? You know, that XY march can get away very fast because XY has a speed boost when leaving combat. So, I mean, a fight like this is really not about pulling people in. I mean, sure, they pulled that guy in. I mean, the red team here pulled that guy in, but they pulled him in at the exact moment that they got wiped off the field. I mean, what did that pull in accomplish when you're literally getting wiped off the field as you're pulling the dude in? So kind of interesting. It almost looked like red team was winning at the beginning, but blue, you know, blue just took care of business there. So it looks like there's not going to be a rally on this flag at all. And then you wonder if they can assault this flag here. This looks like a very even. This looks like a very even war right here. Let's see what else is happening in this Lost Kingdom. So what's happening here? Why is this? Oh, there's a cliff here. There's a mountain here. Okay. Because they are burning here. So the wind is burning water over here. And so they are sort of like making progress elsewhere on the map. I'll be honest, I've never actually fought in this zone here, Ceylon. I've never fought in this zone. So I didn't realize like what role the mountains would actually play here. I mean, so right now, who has the middle of the zone? Yeah, so right now, Water Camp has the Sanctuary. Or Water Coalition has the Sanctuary. 2638. One alliance camp here, looks like. Water has the Sanctuary in the middle of the zone, but it looks like right now it's wind. It's wind that is actually on the offensive overall. So we might be able to check in here later. Looks like they're going to be fighting all night. You know? Looks like there's enough going on here that they're probably going to be fighting all night. But let me go ahead and do some stuff on my own account here. I know that I do need to do some stuff. Thank you all for hanging out. Throw a like on the stream. Let me go ahead and share this stream out a couple places. I forgot to do that. And I do have to collect 180 Eleanor heads. And I'll sort of go over the significance of me getting those 180 gold heads. Luke says, when your marches swarm an opponent's march, not all your marches stay at the front and moves to the enemy ball. That is very true. That is very true. And for me, the big thing when I'm open field fighting is I'm still bad at remembering which march is which letter on my keyboard, right? But if I could remember exactly which letter each march is, then when my marches swing forward into the enemy, then what I would do is I would just retreat. I would just retreat the march that swings forward. I would hit the keystroke to select that march. Then I would hit R to retreat. And I would just retreat that march because that's the march that's going to get focused, while my other marches stay on the target that they're hitting, right? And I'm sure there are some people who do that, and I do it occasionally, but I don't do it enough. I'm not very good at like figuring out which of my march is being targeted or is about to be targeted, and retreating only that march. But that is something that you can actually do in this game. And Luke, yes, I am a cavalry main. I'm sort of a cavalry garrison main. So let me go ahead and claim 180 gold heads. Luke, thank you for the donation. Very, very much appreciated. Thank you so much. The CA $4 from Luke as I claim these 180 Eleanor of Aquitaine gold heads. Oh, you love to see it. You love to see it, and it looks like I got 2,000 gems as well. I sort of forgot about that. Okay, so Tyr was going for Jan. Okay. Yeah, so this was a pretty interesting arranged Mightiest Governor. I would say there was a tiny bit of drama here. And I don't mind being transparent about the drama. So basically, you know, we've been in this kingdom for a number of years. So we have had many, many arranged Mightiest Governors in the past. And our Mightiest Governors are generally based on your contribution in KVK. But we do sort of change the standings around a little bit to give a bit of a bonus to garrison commanders, rally leaders, and I would say that even leadership has gotten a bit of a bonus over the years in Mightiest Governor, right? And so, I mean, if you look back on the history of our Mightiest Governors, I don't know if we can see them right now or not. Let me check. I guess we can't. But, I've won a few. I've won a few Mightiest Governors in my day. Captain has won a few Mightiest Governors in her day. I think Eddie Nabo, ironically, because there just hasn't been... I don't know, for some reason, Eddie Nabo hasn't really gotten, like, a ton of bonuses from Mightiest Governor. He generally places quite high in contribution anyway. But anyway, this time, basically, like, at the beginning of June, Captain and Adinavo in leadership chat, they had, like, a very brief discussion where Captain basically just said, this season, let's base Mightiest Governor on only contribution. Which is, like, a change from the past, but it's fair enough. That's what they wanted to do. I did not see that conversation. And so when I saw the Mightiest Governor standings, I was put in third place, where I was only getting 60 Eleanor heads. And, this was like a lot less than I expected to get, quite frankly. As I was trying to plan out my account for the next KVK, only getting 60 Eleanor heads was like... That kind of like screwed up my plans quite a bit. To where like I probably wouldn't have been able to finish Eleanor before the next KVK. And so I kind of just like, I don't know, I guess I shoot off the handle from time to time. And so I just sort of said like, what did I say? Does it show up? Let me see. I'll tell you guys exactly what I said. I'll tell you guys exactly what I said. Yeah. Yeah, I just said, 60 Eleanor heads is unacceptable given how much I sacrificed to be a garrison captain. I built Gorgo with my own gold heads after I was going to get 180 heads from MGE, but then the schedule was wrong. This is true. I was going to get first place in a Gorgo MGE, but then it ended up being an MGE that happened while fighting was happening, so I couldn't get those Gorgo heads. And, I just didn't know that the policy had changed, right? I literally just did not know that the policy had changed when I said that. And, Tyr pushed back on it, and then Adinavo pushed back on it. And I pretty much dropped it. I dropped the subject. I almost said more about it. I almost was going to argue with them about it more and be like, hey, listen, like, I'm not just asking for all these gold heads for myself. I'm actually, like, trying to do what's good for the kingdom. And it's good for the kingdom if I have Eleanor in the next KBK, and it's also good for the kingdom if I don't like fall way behind on my open field, because I'm like a pretty important open field player. But I didn't. I just like dropped it. I just like let it go. You know what I mean? But I guess that what happened is that Tyr and Algebra was supposed to, Algebro, member of Officer Chat, Algebro, he was supposed to get first. and Tyr was supposed to get second, and I was supposed to get third. But I guess that they may have talked to each other, or maybe both of them talked to Adinavo, and they stepped back and allowed me to get first place in this Mightiest Governor. And, you know, I'm very grateful for that. You know, like, I didn't push to have that happen. I mean, I expressed my displeasure, but then I sort of dropped it. But, you know, the things I said might have had an impact on their decisions. But, you know, ultimately I thanked them, and I am, like, genuinely grateful that they let me have first place. And, you know, so that's kind of what happened, you know? That's what happened with this Mightiest Governor here. Goza says, isn't Algebra an infantry main? He is an infantry main, but I think he's thinking about garrisons for, like, artifact KVKs, right? So, like, Eleanor might be good in combination with somebody for artifact KVKs. And we can look at Eleanor's... I'm not going to summon her right now just because I don't know if I have any Flux scripts for it. Oh, Paranoia has some comments about the Cavalry Discord. We were talking about Black Mamba. I disliked Kana and Hayase, kind of ruined when became moderators. So most of whom I was friends in Cavalry Stable, we all quit. I do miss brainstorming on Cav comp pairings, though. Yeah, you know, I was never in those troop discords back in the day, so, like, I know that they used to be, like, very, very active, because, like, a lot of players in my alliance would talk about those discords all the time, and people definitely talked about the Cav Discord the most, right? Like, Idun was not a Cav player, and Adinava was not a Cav player. Eli obviously was very active in the Cav Discord, but, like, the main, like, Discord that they would gossip about was the Cav stable, right? Because they, like, I guess, like, the moderators there were all, like, sort of, like, big personalities or whatever. Sosa asks, what's the strongest animal you could beat in a fight? What could I beat in a fight? I mean, I could beat some dogs, right? I think I could beat some dogs in a fight, but not like a dog designed to fight, I don't think. Obviously, I couldn't beat a dog that's designed to fight. I think I could probably beat a beaver, right? I think I could beat a beaver. I don't think beavers are all that... I mean, like, they're tough, but I don't think beavers are, like, that dangerous, so... Maybe a beaver? I could just kick the shit out of it, you know, just, like, use my feet. Goza says, for artifact, there's no way Eleanor is better than Attila. Alright, so let's take a look at that. The thing that I'm thinking about... I mean, like, Attila is only good for certain... Like, so, like, the thing is, Gosu, like... There are some situations where, like... So there are some situations where Flavius is better than Gorgo, right? In artifact KVKs. There are some situations where Flavius is better than Gorgo, and there are some situations where Jan is better than Attila, right? And just the way I'm looking at Eleanor, obviously she's not very good against Swarm, but... The fact that she can proc her expert skill, the fact that she has a 10% chance to have her active skill cast twice, to me that makes her very interesting in an artifact KVK. And I have to imagine there are some situations where she will be very good. I will add this, right? In a pass. When you're talking about a pass in an artifact KVK, I have a strong feeling that Jan Flavius is going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of as good as Gorgo Constantine. And so if Eleanor Flavius is an upgrade to that artifact pass garrison, then I think it does make sense for somebody like Algebra to potentially build Eleanor. Or at the very least, what he can do is he can slow build Eleanor over time. Like, I think what you're seeing with Tyr here, and the reason he went with Jan, is because he's probably been slow building Jan through these Mightiest Governors for a while, right? He's probably just been collecting Jan heads for a couple years now. And, you know, he's like slowly making progress on Jan. Paranoia says still talks with Elysium a lot. Lots of brainstorming on Cav commanders back in the day with them. Definitely. I got Eleanor 5553 at the moment as we are going into Orleans KVK. I do believe she will actually be great as the KVK format is complete. Swarm everything. And her 4th skill really gives boost to swarmers on your side. Swarming the rally. Yeah, Paranoia, I don't know that I agree about the 4th skill being all that useful in something like Siege of Orleans. Just because I don't think it's very often the case that like both teams are fighting in the open field. I mean, it certainly does happen that like both teams are fighting in the open field under a flag. And in the last Orleans, we actually did a fair bit of that, where we would run like a Henry Zug rally, and then the Zug would do AoE to the enemy marches around the flag, and then we would also be fighting under the flag, and essentially, and we would be in like a different alliance than the rally, so we were not taking AoE from the garrison, but the enemy was taking AoE from our Zug Liang rally. But I don't think it happens that often. I mean, this buff is nice, the buff of every allied or friendly troop nearby gains an extra 5% damage. I mean, if this is buffing like 10 marches, then that's actually pretty amazing, right? I think what's really significant about this 4th skill on Eleanor is that it literally, there's no limit to how many marches it can actually buff. You wonder what nearby means. You wonder what the range on this is, but I'm looking at this skill again. Oh, so it only lasts for 3 seconds, maybe. Actually, it doesn't even say how long it lasts. But anyway, how are these two things different? Up to 5 nearby allied or friendly troops gain 1% damage to bonus dealt. Every allied or friendly troop nearby gains an extra 5% damage to bonus dealt. Can somebody tell me what the difference between these two statements are? I guess it's just like including... I guess the first half of the buff is including your own marches. But like, how are these different? Like, other than that, these two things are not different at all. Oh, okay, the difference is that that at least 5 marches get a 10% damage buff, and then any additional marches get a 5% buff. So yeah, up to 5 nearby troops gain a 10% damage buff. Like, that's pretty nice, man. Like not for nothing, but that is pretty nice. I mean, at the end of the day, what is Belly Prime actually doing, right? Like, what is Belly Prime actually doing? Belly Prime is putting 12% of damage on a given target. On his expertise, and this expertise on Belly is almost like the whole like point of this commander. Whereas with Eleanor, almost as like a this is almost like a secondary aspect of Eleanor, is that she is in fact, you know, oh no wait, it is 5%. It is 5%. But anyway, she's giving a 5% bonus to a lot of troops nearby. Paranoia says it does say up to 5 troops on the map, and then it counts how many troops are around and gives a boost to yourself. This skill is written kind of weird. I don't. These two little secondary statements are like so similar. They're so similar, and they're even applying to the exact same. The same bonus is being applied to both. Oh, maybe the second one is like over time or something? Oh, okay, I see what it is. I get it. The first half of this is giving a straightaway 5% bonus damage to up to 5 marches. Like 5 marches are automatically getting 5%. And then for every troop nearby, for every march nearby, they gain 1% up to 5%. So like if there are 3 marches around you, if there are 3 marches around this Eleanor garrison, then they are getting 5%. But like they have to add this other part where like if there's like 8 marches, then they're still all getting 5%. So I don't know. This is like too boring to like sit here and worry about it more, but yeah. Nugget, welcome to the stream. Nugget says she's a pass fighting beast because always marches behind a pass to buff. Yeah, I think she's going to be very good in a pass for sure. She's definitely going to be good in a pass. And, you know, it was a very big deal that I got these gold heads, for sure. Because I will show you guys where I'm at with my account right now. I have 350 gold heads. I actually got a bunch of gold heads recently. Actually, let me go ahead and do more than gems right now. Yeah, let me go ahead and do more than gems. And finish my quest. Let me finish my quest here. Really nice to have Alliance Mobilization happening at the same time as More Than Gems, because you can get these really, really nice quests where you spend gems. But, yeah, so I've got like, you know, I've got about 360 gold heads right now. If you add up the 180 Eleanor heads, then I guess I'm at about 540 gold heads. And so that means that if we start fighting in about 30 days, and you figure that I get maybe 6.5 gold heads per day, let's say, then that will give me another like 200 gold heads. And so I basically just barely get there, right? 180 plus 200 is 380. Plus 360 is like 740 gold heads. And so essentially I will have enough gold heads to max Eleanor. And then I am saving up my gems to do Lucci wheels. Because I'm just, you know, I'm slowly trying to work on Lucci. I'm going to max Lucci after I finish Eleanor. And he's obviously going to be like super freaking useful. He will allow me to go from 1 infantry march to 2. Right now, all I have is Guan Scipio. But I do have a Gorgo. I have a maxed Gorgo. And so once I finish Lucci, I can run Gorgo, LC, and Guan Scipio in the field. That will give me 2 infantry marches, and that will be awfully nice. So definitely very useful for me that I got the 180 Eleanor heads. It keeps me on pace in terms of my commanders. And let's also then talk about my pace for the other things, which I need to be on pace for equipment, and I need to be on pace for armaments. We've got 29 people watching right now, which is actually absolutely fantastic numbers. Thank you all for being here. But how about some more likes on the stream, guys? Only 29 watching, 12 likes. Come on, let's go. Hit that thumbs up button. It does help a lot. It does help with my exposure. And it is the free-to-play way of supporting a content creator. Gosu says, "Oh my God, not expertise to LC." I know. I mean, I don't have LC maxed, and I don't have Huo maxed either. I'm like slowly working on Huo, and I'm slowly working on LC. So my open field is like way behind, way behind. But you know, that's the life of the garrison captain. Paranoia says, I saw some reports that Gorgo primary with decreased rage requirements is still a bit worse than LC primary. Olivia, thank you for the subscription. Appreciate it. And always nice to have female viewers as well. I will sometimes say boys, but I say that knowing that roughly 1 to 2% of my audience is female, which, you know, is not great, but it's better than some YouTubers. Abu Safe asking a good question too. How much number for VIP 18? All right, so a lot going on here. So Paranoia says LC primary is better. I will test out both. I know that Crix in the last KVK used Gorgo primary and got like a very good trade. And Crix was like almost like one marching a lot of the time. And so I feel like he probably like did a decent amount of testing to know that Gorgo was best. But I'll try both. I don't care. I don't care which one I use. I'll be honest, like, there's a part of me that thinks, because like in the last KVK that I was in, I used XY Boudica as like my 5th march. Like Boudica with an artifact. I could have also run XY YSG. But there's a part of me that thinks that my Attila Takeda would have traded better than XY Boudica, right? Like I know Attila Takeda is like completely out of meta. But like if Gorgo Lu Chi is like considered one of the best open field marches in the game because it's just doing a ton of normal attack damage and trading well, then like why would Attila Takeda not still be a good march as well, right? But Abu Safe, Paranoia says I had KBK with Crix. He was running LC. See him on the field as well. He do be a whale. Yeah, I think he must have gotten Gorgo since then. He must have gotten Gorgo, you know, between when you fought against him and when I did. Okay, so Abu Safe says, how close to VIP 18? So very good question, Abu Safe. Very, very good question. I'm getting close. I'm 400k away from VIP 18. VIP 18 is very nice. VIP 18 is like low-key, like really, really nice. 10% march speed, 15% unit capacity, and minus 15% healing resource cost. All of those are like really, really nice buffs, like genuinely really good buffs. So I do want to get to VIP 18 soon. And actually yesterday, I was not planning to spend 25,000 gems on More Than Gems. I was planning to only spend 7,000. And I sort of have the same decision today, right? Like, I sort of have the same decision where it's like, do I max More Than Gems in order to push VIP? Like, this is a pretty good... This is like... It's pretty important for me to get VIP points. And so I'm essentially getting, like, just extra value by spending up to 25,000 here. I'm almost, like, getting a free 8 gold heads of value for the, you know, 16,000 VIP points that I'm getting. So it sort of feels worth it to do this, but at the same time, I really want to save my gems. I want to save my gems for like a Lucci wheel, right? Like I barely have enough gems right now to do a full Lucci wheel. And I honestly want to be like max spinning Lucci or 100 spinning Lucci every time he comes up. So it's kind of a tough decision, right? It's kind of like, do I try to rush Lucci or do I try to rush VIP 18? And it's kind of a close decision, honestly. I'm not really sure. Right now, I'm leaning towards rushing Lucci because I know that I'm not going to get VIP 18 before the next KVK anyway. It sort of feels like I'm going to get VIP 18 in the off season before the next KVK, where like it's just really not a rush for me because I'm going to end up getting it in the off season either way. Paranoia says, I think closer to VIP is more crucial than spinning LC. Seba says, max your LC, dude. Sosa says, do you think getting good trades is majority having good control of your marches? I do, Sosa, yes, for sure. For me, for sure. For me, like, the whole thing is having good control of my marches, right? Oh, it looks like I can pop fully loaded here. Let's make sure we have a gold pit up. We do. We do have a gold pit up. So I will send my troops there. And I will give everybody a 50% gold boost. Yeah, so for me, Sosa, like, when I'm... looks like we got some gold chests today. If anyone is interested in joining 770, we do drop a nice number of gold chests each day. There might be some more in here, actually. There might be some more gold chests. Nope, that's it. Yeah, but we got 3 gold chests. No complaints there. Yeah, so for me, when I'm like... So when I'm in an open field fight, and like, when I'm in an open field fight and I'm like focused and like, you know, I'm in dot mode, I'm like, I'm moving around, I'm like very, very quickly like reacting to what the enemy is doing, and I'm like keeping all my marches in position, then I can basically stay at like white or yellow health for a very long time and get very good trades in the field. But what happens sometimes with me is because I'm setting markers like during a fight, right? Like we'll be open field fighting and I'll like just like I'll spend like 15 seconds like, you know, like putting a marker on a map, like I'll like change where the ball is or something, and like it'll take me like, you know, 15 seconds to do all that. And in those 15 seconds, if I did not bring my marches to safety before I start setting that marker, what inevitably happens is that I get pulled out of position. Like as I'm setting the marker, I will get pulled out of position and my marches will get straight up wrecked, right? So like I'll have been fighting for like 6 or 7 minutes, slowly losing health, getting good trades, all that stuff. And then if I lose focus for like 15 seconds, my march just gets straight up wrecked, and like the trade goes from good to bad, right? So to me, to answer Sosa's question, in my opinion, I do think that the majority of getting good trades is having good control of your marches. I do think that. But that is the way that I fight, right? Like there are people who fight differently than I do. There are people who you know, like Uni, for example, when we're fighting, Uni is like almost always saying like, let's be more aggressive, let's be more aggressive. And so I think what Uni is doing is Uni is sort of like, he's like dancing like way less than I dance, right? And he's being like very aggressive and sort of like sending his marches into the enemies to a certain extent. And so I think for people like that, it's less about really strong open field control, and it's more about like the strength of your marches and, you know, just your ability to trade well. So I think there are different and I cannot even for a moment say that the way I play is better than the way that Uni plays, because number one, he gets a lot more kill points than I do, and number two, he is whale tanking for us, right? So, you know, I think there are different ways to fight, right? And I think that not for everyone, right? It's good control is not the key for everybody, but for a lot of us, I think it is. Paranoia says, not this MGE, but previous one, they canceled completely. You never know when Lilith will bite you. If they skip another event, you might not get VIP 18 for 2 KVKs then. That is a good point. That is a good point. I mean, I don't know. I mean, if I spend another 6, here's the thing. Here's the reason that I think I lean Paranoia's way, actually, because let's look at how many gems I actually have right now. I've got 86k gems, right? So if I spend 16k more on VIP, then I'll be down. Then I'll be at 70k gems. But obviously, I will have enough for the next LC head, right? If I just like save all my gems from here, then obviously I'm going to have 72,000 gems for the next LC wheel. The question is really how many gems will I have for the LC wheel after that? But that's pretty far down the road, and I'll have bought like a bunch of crystal tech by then, so I might have enough gems even then. I'm gonna go ahead and max this. I'll go ahead and max this, yeah. Because I am close. I am like getting pretty freaking close to VIP 18. Yep, so another 16k gems spent there. I also, by the way, do have a bit more. I've got like another 8k gems here that I'm saving because these are the gems that I get from doing barb camps. So I'm just sort of like saving them for the whole month to see how many I get, basically. So yeah, we maxed more than gems. We maxed more than gems there. And let's now go ahead and... Okay, so I've got another thing that I want to ask you all about. I want your feedback on another question. And the question is this. I do have 2 blueprints of Sacred Dominion right now. I can awaken it. I can awaken it at least once right now. And so the question is there any reason for me not to... I actually think I can probably awaken this twice, right? I have enough materials to awaken this thing twice right now. So is there any reason for me to not double awaken the Sacred Dominion right freaking now? It will give me added unit capacity, and it will give me 4% all damage to troops on the map, which is basically like 4% all damage, like pretty much all the time. So I could use this for Champions of Olympia. I can use this for Canyon. And I can use this for Ark of Osiris, right? So is there any reason for me not to double awaken the Sacred Dominion right freaking now? Because I know this is what I know I'm gonna do this before our next KVK war. Like, I know I'm gonna bring this to tier 4. This is literally my first priority. This is how my priority list goes, right? Sacred Dominion. And then I'm going to double buy the Horn of Fury, like buy 2 Horn of Furies, and bring the Horn of Fury to tier 4. Then I will either build the Archer legs to complete my Archer set, or if I get Conquest coins at that point, then I will make a Pride of the Khan. But see, actually, wait, this is... Oh, it's tier 3 already, right? No, it's tier 2. Okay, so actually, I would need like 4 coins to upgrade this Pride of the Khan. So that's going to be at the end of the next KVK. Yeah, I mean, my priority list is literally just Sacred Dominion, then Horn of Fury, and then And then archer legs. So I see no reason not to awaken this right now. I see absolutely no reason not to awaken this right now. Paranoia says, Sosa says do it for the stream. Paranoia says, I would do ring awaken before weapon. If rally can't break your garrison, swarmers for sure won't. Oh, so the horn, but but Paranoia, I think they both do damage to rallies. Oh, he's saying that the 3% damage to... No, but I think the sword is just better, right? I think the sword is literally just better, because the sword does 4% damage to rallies and swarmers, right? It does 4% all damage to rallies and swarmers, because they're all troops on the map. Whereas the horn only does damage to rallies. It does not do damage to swarmers. And I can't use this in Olympia. I can't use this in the open field. And by the way, I will have enough materials for both of these. Like, before fighting starts, I will have enough materials for both of these items, right? Like, I'm on pace to have enough for both, right? And so, therefore, I just think I build this now. Paranoia says rally is not troop on map. Okay, I did not realize that. I thought a rally was troop on the map. Honestly, I actually thought it was troops on the map. Oh, Paranoia says, or is it? Damn, I don't know now. I thought it was. I could have sworn that it was, actually. It's something I will ask. I will maybe ask in the ROK Discord or something like that. But if you're not sure about it, Paranoia, then I feel sort of confident that it does hit rallies. Luke says, doesn't the sword have damage boost at V? Furious Strike. Whenever the wielder's troop launches a basic attack, it has a 10% chance to gain a 8.5% damage boost for 2 seconds. So we could do the math on this, Luke. So basically, it's an 8.5% attack, or 8.5% damage, but it's only 10% of the time. So that's 0.85%. Now, if you multiply that by 2 turns, or multiply by 2, then you get 1.7% of all damage. But there is a cooldown as well, so you have to reduce that number a little bit. So I would say that this is giving a 1.5% damage boost. You know, tier 4 is doing a 1.5% damage boost. But the horn is giving 3%. The horn is giving 3%. And Algebra says that rally is troops on the map. Yep. So Luke, to answer your question, horn to tier 5 is better than sword to tier 4, right? Tier 4 is the better thing. Tier 4 gives you like super good returns, but then tier 5 only gives you decent returns. So I'm going to go ahead and awaken this. I have not, it doesn't seem like there's a good argument not to awaken this. Hopefully we have enough materials to awaken it twice. I'm pretty sure that we do. But let's go ahead and buff our Sacred Dominion here. Let's friggin' do it. There's no surprise here. It's a guaranteed success rate. And here we go. Tier 3. Okay, so I'm short. I'm short materials, unfortunately. Getting it to tier 4. But I'm very close. I'm very, very, very close, right? I'm very close. So I'll be able to make this, I'll be able to awaken this to tier 4 by our next Ark of Osiris match. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Algebra says his equipment will be maxed next KVK. Yeah, I mean, I'm getting there. Like, in all honesty, as much as Wales had like a very big advantage 6 months ago, I mean, I am kind of getting there, I'll have the sword to 4. I'll have my accessories to 4. You know, I'll probably get the helm to 4 by the end of the KVK. And so, I mean, I'm getting there. You know what I mean? I'm getting there. The advantages that the whales have right now are shrinking slowly. Seba says Brian should drop some gold chests. You know, I'm a bundle guy. I'm a supply depot guy. Let me actually let me renew. Should I renew the speed ups? No. I don't know how many flux scripts I have. I think I only have 1. But anyway, I'm a supply depot guy. I've been keeping these materials and armament supplies up going. Maybe I'll keep the speed up one going, actually. Yeah, I'm going to keep the speed up one going as well. Because I do need speed ups. Actually, as I was buying those VIPs, I forgot that I was actually in the process of buying all the speed ups in the shop. Oh, no, wait, I didn't. I was actually sort of planning to buy these 8-hour speed ups because my speed up situation is not amazing. I mean, as we think about having KVK fighting about a month from now, I'm currently at just over 500 days of speed ups. I believe I ended the KVK at roughly 320 days of speed ups, and I've gained 180 days since then. I was curious how many days of speed ups you all think you get on like a normal day of play. Like, how many days of speed ups do you think you get on average? I came up with 7. I estimated that I get about 7 days of speed ups on average. So like in that case, if we're fighting in a month and I'm getting 7 days of speed ups per day, then I'm actually only at like 700 days of speed ups for like our next war, which is like really not that many. I think maybe 7 days of speed ups per day is a little bit low because obviously when you're like chaining or doing marauders or buying crystal tech bundles, obviously in those cases you're like getting more days of speed ups. But yeah, my speed up situation is not amazing. It's not amazing at all. And then the other question is, where are we on armaments? Where are we at on armaments? Because we are trying to get to the pity roll on both wedge and arch formation. We're 47 armaments away from pity on wedge. Let's see how close we are on arch. On arch, we are 59 away. We are 59 legendary armaments away on arch formation. I think I will get there in time for the next KVK. But let's go ahead and open our armament chests and see how much closer we get to the pity roll from this very modest number of chests that I have available tonight. But let's go ahead and open these up. We are going to go arch formation on everything. And we're just trying to get legendaries. If we get a good inscription, that's great. If we get a good roll, that's fine, I guess. But really, we just want as many legendaries as possible so we get closer and closer to that pity roll. And also, actually tonight I can open another inscription shard chest. I'll be able to recycle a couple of legendaries, and I can open an inscription shard chest here on stream. So we will do that as well. So hoping for some of that streamer luck. It's been a little unlucky lately opening in these chests. So hopefully we do better tonight. Nothing here. Nothing in these blues. I don't even know why I check them. Metallics. Yeah, not worth saving. Not worth saving. We're going to do a bulk recycle here. We're recycling everything. There we go. And let's just keep going with these arch formations. Paranoia says, what formation do you plan on using for Eleanor? I will probably use arch formation most of the time. But if I'm confident that I'm not going to get swarmed, I will probably swap to my cavalry wedge formation, which is nowhere near as good as my arch formation, but it's getting closer and closer. All right, so no legendaries in the blue chests. Absolutely 0 legendaries in the blue chests. We'll do another bulk recycle. Ghost says you shouldn't even look at the purples. I look at the purples. I'm using a purple. I'm using a purple right now on my Guan in Olympia. Like, I'm using a purple right now. So, actually, should I put an inscription on this? Do I have an inscription to put on this? I think I do. In the scroll slot? Maybe I don't. Yeah, I don't. Never mind. But yeah, I use purples, so I check the purples. That's the thing. But for arch formation, I probably shouldn't. My arch formation is probably good enough that I don't need to check the purples. 3.5, 3.5, 2% all damage. Oh, somebody got like an insane armament yesterday. Let me show you guys. Mappa pulled something insane. Oh, look at this. I'd love to get this on my farm. This is what I'm looking for on my farm. Triple Siege. Triple Siege. Alright, I guess I shouldn't check these. I'm checking them anyway. Yeah, nothing there. Let's go ahead and recycle all of these right now, and we'll get like very, very close to that shard chest. Alright, so nothing so far. Nothing so far. Seba says I've got some epics that are better than my own legendaries. Same. Alright, give me something good here. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? 0 legendaries. Oh my gosh. Brutal. Brutal, dude. We're making almost no progress on our pity roll. This is actually kind of bad. This is actually a little bit concerning that we're making such little progress on the pity roll. Come on, give me some legendaries here. Give me 2 legendaries. Give me 2 legendaries out of this 10. Let's freaking go. Come on. 3 legendaries. That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. I'm tilting all the whales in my chat by checking these purples. Nothing on this parchment. Let's look at the horn. How's the horn looking? Absolutely nothing on this horn. And on the flag? Absolutely nothing on the flag. So pure recycling materials, but we appreciate the recycling. We appreciate the progress on the pity roll. So that's fine. That's fine right there. Throughcut, welcome to the stream. It is brutal, but honestly, my armaments are good enough where, like, it's hard to get an upgrade. Especially with arch formation, it's very hard to get an upgrade. Last 2 purples. Nothing in these. Nothing in these. Just a quick recycle. And we have 2 legendaries. We have 2 legendaries. It would be nice to get an inscription here. We're kind of due for an inscription. But let's go ahead and open these up. At the very worst, we get some pity progress. All right, the bottom 2 slots at least. 3.3% cav attack on the flag spot. This is not bad. This is not bad. 3.3% attack on the flag spot is not bad. The problem is, how do you ever transmute this? How do you ever get a inscription that you can put on this spot? But you know, it's decent. And then absolutely nothing here in the emblem slot. So I'm going to only... How do you know which one to read? How? Wait. Okay. So it's recycling this one, right? I assume it's recycling this one. Yeah, it has to be. Right? Yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and lock that flag that we just got. Let's lock this flag. And then let's go over and... I mean, we've got an inscription shard here. We are halfway. We are about to be halfway towards having 8 of these and being able to buy this invincible inscription. The invincible inscription, which goes in the... What is this, the flag spot? This is the flag slot, right? This thing is pretty amazing. Invincible is an amazing inscription. And as of now, I am halfway towards getting it. Whales have already gotten it. I am halfway there. And hopefully we get something good here. Hopefully we get a good inscription. This is kind of a big deal. I want something in one of the lower 2 slots. I want an inscription that goes in one of the lower 2 slots here. I don't know how hard it is to get, but please give me one right freaking now. What is this? Oh, I got stones. I got 10 stones. Terrible. Ay, ay, ay. 10 stones. Is that even a good roll? I mean, it's better than 5. I guess it's better than 5 stones or 8 stones, but... Oh, well. Alright. The grind continues. The grind continues. Alright, yeah, that's a big oof. That's definitely a big oof right there. Alrighty, so... A couple of things are going on. One, we are able to play Ranked Olympia. So I may try to do some Ranked Olympia. Let me actually go ahead and... I'm gonna go ahead and start a... I'm gonna start a Ranked Olympia team here. If anybody wants to join, I'm currently at Platinum level, but I'm also like more of a Gold. I'm sort of like a Gold Ranked Olympia player. So if you do want to play, you can just send me a DM in the game, and I will add you to the team. You can find me in Kingdom 1770, and I'm an R4 in the main alliance. So you can message me that way if you want to join the Ranked Olympia team. And I will send the invite out to a few channels here, just to sort of get the team started. And actually, I did not actually watch the full video of... I did not watch the full video of the update. One second. I'm trying to load a YouTube video here. Yeah, so I never watched this full video of the next update. But let's just go over this. So they showed us the Guan and Leo updates. Leo here, community manager Leo, showed us the Leo updates. Whoops. So Guan Yu is getting... Guan Yu's museum buff is going to give 5% attack and 10% defense. This is actually like a little bit better than I expected. So I think this is solid, actually. I know it's not the stats that people said he needed. I forget who said it. I think it might have been Bus Driver said that what Guan needs is like march speed, health, and or skill damage reduction. So I know that these are not the stats that Guan needed, but for me, I'm still using Guan. I'm going to continue to use Guan for at least the next 6 months, if not the next year. you know, getting an extra 15% attack, or getting 50% more of stats is like pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. Seba, are you gonna play? Seba, go ahead and jump on so I know you're in. And then I'll send some invites out to some other chats. Yeah, let's go ahead and go through these other buffs. I thought Leo would get a better buff, but they just don't. Obviously, this buff to Leo, 5% March speed and 5% normal damage reduction. Obviously, they're just saying like, hey, we're not going to make Leo viable. You know, like Leo just has no chance here. So poor Leo is going to still sit on the bench. Oh, Paranoia says, you said one of you guys pulled a crazy armament. Yes, let me show you that. I could probably unmute this and play it, but... Well, here, let's just... One second. Oh, they showed the other buffs too, didn't they? Oh yeah, so here's Thutmose's update. And where's YSG? Oh, yeah, so YSG is getting a buff as well. YSG is getting another 20% defense and 5% skill damage. This is like a pretty good double relic for YSG. I feel like there's going to be people who are still running YSG. And this is like a pretty nice museum buff, actually. Yeah, but let me show you that armament that that Mappa pulled. Yeah, this is what Mappa pulled. Arch formation in the scroll slot. 2.5% attack, max roll on defense, and max roll on all damage. This is like a fantastic armament, really, right? Because you can put destructive on it, right? You can put the autark inscription on this thing, and you're just like all set. Like you just have like a very... This is like an amazing Lu Chi armament right here, right? Because it's arch formation, and this is literally, if you consider that all damage is like 2.5x of stats, that means that this is 5% of stats on this all damage roll. 5%, 8.5%. This is 11% of stats right here. 11% of stats plus the inscription you add on. I mean, this quickly becomes this armament becomes something that is potentially like 20% of stats. And that's like freaking amazing. Imagine if you have 4 armaments that are this good and you're getting 80% from your armaments. I'm getting roughly like 35 to 40% on my armaments. And so, you know, that's a pretty banger. And that's a pretty banger armament right there. Yeah, that thing's amazing. To be fair, Matba is a archer player. Like, Matba's an archer wedge formation player, but I'm sure he has like 1 infantry march, right? Yeah, so I didn't actually watch this entire video. It's like this video came out like right when I was going to sleep last night, so I just like didn't watch the whole thing. Here's the remastered Heroic Anthem map with the new graphics. We've seen this before though. And what else did they do? Oh, was there like a spoiler of the there's like a spoiler of the infantry commanders, but I don't know where in the video it was. I don't know where the spoiler was, but anyway, they teased the new infantry commanders. We expect the new infantry commanders to come out probably in the next month or so. All right, looks like Seba is not going to play. Let me see if there's any other teams that are forming. Doesn't look like it. Where was I finding matches earlier? I think I was finding matches in here. Yeah, I'll invite in here. Yeah, if anybody wants to play Ranked Olympia, please join up. Gosu's hoping for Smite. And I'm not sure. I'm honestly not sure if it's going to be smite or skill damage. I lean towards it being... I lean towards it being skill damage just because... Like, Lucci already has a pair with Gorgo, and I think it's just harder to balance another smite commander at this point. I think it's much, much easier to add a skill damage commander. But I don't know. I mean, I'm hoping for smite as well. I'm honestly hoping for smite as well, but I kind of think it's going to be skill damage. The other thing that people need to remember is that the next infantry commander, there's also going to be a rally leader, right? And I think that's really like actually both of these infantry commanders are a big deal, right? Because, you know, the open field commander is either going to upgrade the Scipio open field march, or it's going to upgrade the Lucci open field march. But then the rally, the garrison rally, is also potentially going to be an even bigger deal because, you know, Tariq is a very, very good rally leader. Tariq is a top tier rally leader. I would probably put him number 2 behind Asher Benapal. And so, let me there's another one of these I can invite people to. I think it was this one, right? Yeah, let me invite from here. Oh, I'm in like a bunch, actually. Oh, there we go. Oh, Scarface I was trying to play with the other day. I think Scarface is pretty good, actually. All right, so we will jump in to some Olympia here. But yeah, I think the everyone's talking about the open field. Will it be smite or will it be skill? I think we're probably going to see a skill commander for rallies. And if it buffs the Tariq rally, that's a very big deal for sure. Now, at the same time, it could buff... You know, it's possible that the rally leader will be smite damage, and then you make Lucci, this new guy, a smite damage rally, which would also be massive. That would be a massive change. If you buff a Lucci rally, if you buff the Lucci rally in like non-meta or in artifact KVKs, that's a huge deal. That's a huge, huge, huge deal. All right, so who are we up against here? We're up against a couple of alliances I've heard of. I've heard of like ZT16 before. I've heard of MAD before. So yeah. Here we go. Here we go. I'm gonna kite. I've been doing this lately. I've been like kiting with the Nevsky. Okay, so my teammate abandoned me. My teammate abandoned me here, so I'm just gonna run. Kind of a weird decision by old Marcos here. I'm not really understanding that one. Not really understanding why he abandoned me in a 6 versus 6. I'm gonna not buff Marcos anymore, because I don't know what the hell that guy was just doing, to be honest. And then he's just standing there doing nothing. Now Marcos is just standing there doing nothing. This dude's pretty sus, bro. I'm pretty sus on this dude. I'm pretty sus on Marcos, bro. I'm pretty fucking sus on this dude. Look, the guy's got me swearing, man. Marcos is demonetizing me at this point. Marcos's play is demonetizing me at this point. Looks like we are winning, though. Looks like we are winning. I have been enjoying Champions of Olympia lately. My marches have never been all that good at it, but Adding the Herman. Adding the Herman has been, like, really good. So this is good. This is good that I'm here because... Well, I've got to fight this imp dude. Which may be a bit sus, but... Who's behind this Scipio? Oh, he's wrecking me. Well, I'm just going to run it down here. I'm just going to run it down. He wrecked me pretty hard. Yeah, so like I said, I'm not that good at Olympia. Because just my marches are not that great for it. But the Herman has made me better. I was actually doing very well earlier today. I was getting a bunch of MVPs. Because I do think the Herman is like really good in Olympia. And a lot of people at this level, at sort of the gold level, do not actually have Herman. So yeah, Skippy Mehmet. I think it was correct for me to target that player. I do think it was correct for me to target that player. For that march. But yeah. So we're going to come over here. This guy Fook is still dominating here. Hopefully this guy can wear him down and then I'll finish him off. Our movement here is good. We picked the right place to go to, for sure. We can make an impact. We can make a difference in this fight. And that's sort of what I like about Olympia, is that it's not only about march strength. It's actually not only about march strength. Especially on some of these new maps, it really comes down to, like, you know, making correct decisions about where to send your marches, right? I actually have no idea when the Fire Thief is spawning, so I'm just going to come down here and join this massive, massive fight here. I'm going to go ahead and just target the Guan here, maybe. Really good silence there by whoever did it. Let me give the boys a morale boost. Huge fight here. Huge fight. Huge fight. Oh, now I have a silence. There we go. Woo. We're trying to hold on. The Zug Herman trying to hold on. Looks like we lost this fight, but at least we distracted many enemies. It's actually very close. This match is very close. Hopefully we made a good decision there. I don't know if we did. The enemy actually has 3 of the flags right now. We're about to even it up. Who is hitting this? No one is hitting the Fire Thief, really. I don't even know where the Fire Thief is. I literally don't even know where the Fire Thief is. Where is the Fire Thief? We don't even know where the Fire Thief is. Only the enemy is hitting it. This is what I'm saying. Like, sometimes you really got to decide where to go. Like, right now, I almost should be hunting the Fire Thief. There it is. You know? So the enemy has now taken the lead here. The Fire Thief spawned on their side. That was very lucky. That was very lucky for them. And they got the they got the boost. They got the boost. Oh, man. We are in trouble. We are in deep trouble here. We are in deep trouble here. And we're, like, outnumbered here to shit, right? We're, like, completely outnumbered here. Like, there's no reason for me to even... Like, what is Marcos doing? What is this... I mean, I'm just dust, man. I am dust, bro. Okay, so this is actually good for me, because I'm going to hold this flag. I'm going to be able to hold this flag against Bunny. Maybe. Maybe not, because now this guy rejoined him. Yeah, so let me kill Bunny first. It looks like we just lost. Looked like we straight up lost here. Enemy was fairly strong. Some of the enemies were able to beat me. Algebra says Attila is OP already. Attila LC already OP. If they release an actual Smite rally, it will break the game. So no Smite rally. Probably true. It's probably true. But I mean, if so, like the obvious thing that they would do then is they would upgrade the Tariq rally, and if you upgrade the Tariq rally, then that becomes the best rally in non-artifact KVKs for sure. Which I think is fine. I think it's good. I mean, I think it would be good to put, yeah. So I don't know what happened in that match. Whatever. We might have to get more people on this team. It was fairly close match, you know, fairly close match. That Fook guy who beat me, he really dominated for sure. That Fook guy was strong with the full infantry. See, this is what happens when you lose, man. When you lose a ranked match, everyone just friggin' leaves, dude. It's rough. It's rough, dude. It's rough. It is rough. If, so let's see, where did I put this? I put it here? I put it here, right? Yep. But yeah, I mean, so like right now in like non-artifact KVKs, Asher Zug is like the best. And then there's like a pretty big drop-off to the second best. And so what I would say is that if you buff the infantry rally, then that's totally fine. It sort of needs a buff. And it won't really improve the artifact KVK rallies. Because, you know, in the artifact KVKs, like the mixed rallies are best, right? Like the Tariq Zug, the Asher Tariq, the Attila LC. Like the mixed rallies are good enough in artifact KVKs that a buff to the infantry only rallies won't make a very big difference there. Is sort of the way I see it. Well, let's see if we can get a win this time. We've got a slightly different team. We've got my boy Marcos. He's going to take another shot at his movement around the map. I will be honest and say that I have not quite figured out the best way to play this particular map yet. I think there's a lot of like decision making on this map, if I can be honest about it. I think there's a lot of freaking decision making. Now I'm gonna kite. I shouldn't have kited everybody. I wanted to just kite my Nevsky. But yeah. Why is this Nevsky now? Oh my god, this Nevsky's been stunned for like a million years. What the hell? Bro, how strong was that stun, man? Thank god only one of my marches got stunned. I mean, that was crazy. So this is interesting. This guy is trying to disrupt here. So I'm just going to cover this. I'm going to cover this and then heal at the same time. That seems like a pretty... That seems pretty efficient to me. I don't even want to kill this guy. Well, actually I do, because I want to heal. I do want to kill this guy. Because then I want to heal. Now, sometimes I don't watch the big picture. So we did a good job down here to get this one, right? That worked out very well for us. And now it looks like they're trying to steal this Flamebringer at the last second. So I will actually stay down here. HTT, welcome to the stream. Good to have you here. Playing some ranked Olympia here, which I have taken a liking to lately. Oh, this dude hits hard, man. This Wilder hits hard. Whew. Man, that guy hits freaking hard, bro. Thank God I had help. 93p. Yeah, oh my gosh. Okay, yeah. So we're playing against somebody from 1093. And he was kicking my butt. Something fierce. I'm going to cast Silence here. A lot of fighting going on. Maybe not the best time to hit Silence, because there wasn't, like, active fighting. Oh, no, I didn't heal. Oh, no. Oh, no. My Zoog is out of commission for, like, a million years. Oh, no. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to come over here. With 2. Okay, so this guy's coming here. So I can maybe cover. Now they're all coming over here. The Zoog needs to heal. Let's buff here. We're just trying to keep doing damage here. The Zoog is not healing. Why is the Zoog not? Oh, the Zoog's full. Okay. You know, I sort of have blinders on sometimes, but I feel like that's sort of okay. Because... Alright, so I'm full health. I don't think I need to go there. Okay, we're winning easily. This is literally the first time I've looked at the scoreboard. Which is kind of interesting. Alright, they surrendered. So yeah, I've been trying to live in Platinum. Platinum is the highest I've ever gotten. And I'm trying to just, like, survive in Platinum. In these sort of new ranked groups that I find myself in. And, you know, it's going okay. I'll go ahead and find another match with this same team. We'll run it back. Kumagai, yes, I do have a maxed ZL Herman with 6 out of 7 pieces of legendary gear. I do have 1 piece of purple gear on the ZL Herman. My Nevsky Joan has very, very good gear. My Guan Scipio has decent gear, but nothing amazing. But yeah. All right, the original map here. The original map. All right, so me and Scarface over here, I think that's a pretty good combo. I always like going to a side lane with an infantry player. We are going to get there a little bit slow. So the enemy has the ability to... the enemy has the ability to take this thing, but we're actually going to take it. Which is interesting. I guess I'll go down here. Actually, I'm just going to pick up this guy. Yeah, we should just go mid, actually. We should just go mid. We should just go mid here. I'm going to get here a little bit late. Oh, the enemy has us outnumbered here, actually. Unfortunately, the enemy has us, like, heavily outnumbered. So he's leaving. That makes sense. That makes sense. I'm coming back down here to, like, cover this. Because this dude's definitely making a beeline here. So we'll fight here. Actually, let me just get this. Yep, let me engage. This should work out fine. I mean, he's definitely kicking my butt, but like I have friends coming. That's the thing. I mean, I feel like I did my job here, right? Because I stopped him from getting this flag. Like, yeah, he won the fight, but like, considering I stopped him from getting the flag, that's a pretty good use of March's, you know, given that they were going to lose the fight. Looks like this is going to be a close match, though. The enemy has a lot of infantry. They have a lot of infantry players, and they have a lot of friggin' infantry players. Which, if you don't know, now you know. That is the meta. The meta in Champions of Olympia is infantry. I'm gonna cast Silence here. Big fight in the middle, so I am gonna cast Silence. Also gonna buff with morale. It feels like we're outnumbered here, but like I'm here, man. I might as well fight, you know what I mean? Oh, I'm getting wrecked. Ugh. Maybe that was bad to go mid. Maybe that was a bad decision by me. But see, like, we've taken all the other flags, right? Like, they overly focused mid, and so we took... Well, actually, now we're down 2-3, but... This is a great disruption. Great disruption here by Scarface. Look at this. This is so... Look at how productive this is. Unbelievably productive. Let me buff his Huo here. I'm actually going to go back mid. I think this is like... Well... Let me, I'll help here first. I'm gonna say no. I don't know. They might be, like, way stronger than us. Yeah, it looks like they're just stronger than us. Another player from 1093. Yeah, this is what's tough, right? Like, it's just really hard to live at this level. Like, to be honest, like, it's really hard for me to live at Platinum. When you're playing, like, somebody from 188 and somebody from 93T. Like, it's just very hard for me to, like, win that. Leona's name is familiar. I feel like I've played against Leona in a different kingdom. You know? Yeah, these players were, like, ranked way higher than us. Way higher. Champion above, dude. I've never even sniffed champion above. Alright, so everybody stayed, and we got a match immediately. Let's see how this next one goes. Thank you all for watching. Still 28 viewers, 18 likes. Throw a like on the stream if you're enjoying this Champions of Olympia content. I do have a bit of a observation about this game mode and how it relates to, like, other things that are happening in gaming in general, which I'll sort of go over once we stop playing. But I think, like, basically, you know, it's like a little bit, like, my experience in Champions of Olympia is that it's a little bit herky-jerky. Like, the controls are not smooth. I would not describe the controls of Champions of Olympia as smooth. But when I watch, like, other games, like the games that I'm into watching, which are games like New World and Albion Online, when I watch, like, the PvP in those games, it's also not, it's not super smooth, right? Like, it's actually not super smooth to fight in New World, for example, right? And so I think, like, you know, well, I'll wait till we stop playing. I want to like sort of focus, you know. All right, looks like slightly more manageable. Slightly more manageable opponents here. Did the Fire Thief not spawn? Oh, it's over here. Okay. Oh, no, there it is. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to go to the Fire Thief here. I'm going to go to the Fire Thief. I mean, we're close enough, right? Close enough. Oh my gosh, that was so fast. So we have 2 out of 3. So we definitely need to take some of these flags, like for sure. Oh, now they're disputing this one. Looks like they're all going here, so I'm just going to go here. I'm just going to take this for free. 2 of us don't need to go here. If Marcos is going here, I don't need to go here. We're again seeing that Marcos, you know, he's a fighter. Marcos is a fighter. He's not really like a mover. He's a fighter. Guardian of the Light on myself. We're hitting the Scipio Lucci. Maybe not ideal, but we're winning. We have the buff. We have the buff. And we're clearing them pretty good. This is a nice sign for us to win against these enemies. They're not quite as strong as some of the others. And now Scarface and I are headed over here. We're going to walk past Friendly Bunch. Friendly Bunch is headed for the Fire Thief. We're here to take this. Yeah, so Scarface didn't really need to come here. Oh, you know what? I think he's healing. I think this guy's healing. Yep, he is. Fuck. Okay, looks like we both focus fired the XY there, which was like extremely good. They cast silence now. I'm going down. This dude did hit pretty hard. Good thing we had 2 people here. We are getting wrecked, though. We are getting wrecked in this match. Which is surprising in a way. Kind of surprising, actually. Castiel, welcome to the stream. Gallows, welcome to the stream. Sorry if I'm a little slow to notice some of these things. We are playing some ranked Champions of Olympia. And it's fairly intense. It's fairly intense. I don't know that my movement there was amazing, actually. And I'm not loving the situation here either. Okay, so I'm gonna just kite this guy away. If he chases me, then he's not gonna take the flag, right? Like, this is like super productive right now. This is actually super productive because if he's chasing me, then he's not taking the flag. Although it looks like one of his teammates is taking the flag. So. But at least I got my marches together again. Well, this is the problem. This is the problem. Is that his 3 picked up my 2. And I'm fine with the surrender here. Oh, Friendly Bunches from Evicted's Kingdom? Gotcha, gotcha. Yeah, I mean, listen, man. Listen. We've lost 2 in a row. I would not be surprised if some people depart from the squad. Which is okay. I don't mind calling it a session right there. But if they're all still here, then we'll keep playing. Hey, everybody left, so... That's a good place to end a session of ranked COO. One thing I wanted to do is I wanted to add up how much it's worth to... I wanted to add up how much it's worth to get all of these... levels of the ranked Champions of Olympia quests. So we can add this up very easily, right? I'm saying that 500 AP is worth 500 gems. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. Correct me if 500 AP is worth less than 500 gems. I could have sworn that's how much it costs to buy one of these, but I could be wrong. Maybe it's worth less. I don't know. So this is worth 1k, 1600, 1800, 2300, and let's just say this is worth like 500. Well, what is this? 9? No, 15 hours. What? So what is that? What's 15 hours? That's like we'll say this is 500 as well, right? Sorry, let me do this again. 1600, 1800, 2800 on that level. I'm just adding up the gem value of completing all the stages of this ranked mode, right? This one is 2200, 2500, 3000, 3500. Third level is 2200, 2800, 3200, 3700, and 4200. You see you see that the rewards don't really go up all that much, right? This level is 1000, 1200, 2400, 3000, 3500, and 4100. So this is somehow less than the previous level. I don't know if I did the math wrong or... Well, this level has crystal keys, whereas this level doesn't. So, yeah, okay, makes sense. And then this level is going to be 1000, 1300, 2500, 3200, 4200, and 5000. Okay. So this is the gem value of the 5 levels of this event. And let me go ahead and add that up on Google. I was just like curious how much this is actually worth to do all this. Yeah, so it's worth 19,600 gems, which is honestly a lot of work for this number of gems, I would say. Because to get to 54 wins in ranked mode is actually a lot of work. You know, you have to play like roughly 100 matches, but you also have to like spend some time like joining private Discord groups and like actually forming teams. So getting like 19,600 gems for this is like pretty freaking low. And let's compare it. Let's actually compare it to... Oh, Paranoia, were you? No, you're not Marcos. I don't think. Maybe you were. Marcos hit hard. I disagreed with Marcos's movement like once or twice, which is not that big of a deal. I mean, you can disagree with my movement from time to time as well. But he was an infantry player who hit hard, so like... He was fine. He was honestly decent. I mean, the truth is you see opponents, you see the mistakes of others in Champions of Olympia a lot more often than you see your own mistakes. Like, I know I make mistakes, but it's just like hard to see them like as you're doing it, right? But so I just want to do like a little bit of like gem comparing right now, right? Because you have to assess like the time and effort you put into this game, and you have to and the way you do that really is you compare the gem value of different rewards that you get, right? Because I thought it was pretty interesting to assess the gem value of this event right here, Alliance Mobilization, which I would say is a good proxy for Alliance activity and Alliance commitment, because you can do pay to win. You know, you obviously can pay to win this event. And a lot of our top scores here are people who they bought bundles, and then because they bought bundles, they were able to do these very high value quests. But then there's also people who just do a lot of these gathering quests, right? Like, yeah, I've been seeing the burger guy here do like a lot of the gathering quests. I feel like Hobby has been doing a lot of the gathering quests as well. And so you can just grind it. Like, you can grind this event for sure. Especially if you have R4s who are frequently refreshing this. And I think this event is honestly like quite important. Let's take this one right here. Let's take this level 12. Because I think for us, it's going to be a push to reach level 12. We're definitely going to reach level 11, but level 11 is like pretty mediocre. Level 12 is a very big level here, where you can potentially get 3 legendary weapon blueprints, or you can get 3 gold heads. So let's like look at the value of this tier, right? With the gold heads, I mean, I've been rating gold heads at 1,000 gems, but that's potentially a little bit low. I don't know if we value gold heads a little higher than that. Let's stick to 1,000 gems. Let's stick to saying a gold head is worth 1,000 gems. The thing is, these blueprints are worth more. Like, I would say for sure these weapon blueprints are worth more. Because, I mean, in the VIP shop, if you try to get a random legendary, it costs 1,500. In this case, you're actually picking... In this case, you're picking, like, the weapon. I mean, I guess let's call it 1,500, right? The weapon blueprints are worth a little bit less because a lot of people will build the KVK weapons instead of getting these weapon blueprints. But if we say this is worth 1,500, and we say the gold heads are worth 1,000, and we estimate that maybe like half of the players are going to pick this, and half the players are going to pick the gold heads, then we say these are worth like 1,250 gems each, or 3,750 gems per player. But you have 150 players in your alliance, right? So it's 3,750 gems times 150 players. That means that this is worth this level of alliance mobilization is worth 562,000 gems. Just that one level of the event, getting to that level, is worth 562,000 gems for your alliance, right? That is an extremely big deal. That's an extremely big deal. And I'll tell you why. First of all, if you convert that by the value of gems, like if you go to the gem store and convert that by the value of gems, then like, here, one second. If you convert that by the value of gems, like 562,000 divided by 30,000, that's like 18 of those bundles, and those bundles cost like $100 each. So that's like $1,800, right? Like completing, if we convert that to like gem value in the shop, completing this level is literally worth like $1,800, which is like a huge number. Like even if we reduce that quite a bit, getting to this level is potentially worth like $1,200 of actual real world money, right? Rat, welcome to the stream. Glad to have you here. And the other thing I'll point out is that, like, let's look at the rewards for Ark of Osiris, right? Because every week or so, you what is going on here? Yeah, every week you also get rewards for Ark of Osiris, right? You get alliance rewards and you get individual rewards. So what I'm just looking to see like what rewards you get if you lose, if your alliance loses. Okay, you get half. Yeah, you get half. Yeah, so basically, let's just add up the rewards, the gem value of the rewards that you get for Ark of Osiris. You get 2k gems, and you get 10,000, so that's 12,000 gems. This is another 1,200, so 13,200 gems, 14,000 gems. This is one gold head, so that's 15,000 gems. Let's say 16,000 gems. You also get some alliance rewards. Sorry. So that's 16,000. 16,500, 17,000. Let's say 18,000. Let's say you each get about 18,000 gems for winning Ark of Osiris. And you multiply that by, let's say it's 30 players. Let's say you get 30 players. So winning an Ark match. So this is how much you get. This is how much you get for winning an Ark match. You get 540,000 gems of value, right? But if you lose the Ark match, then you get only half of this. So it's 270,000. So the value you get for winning the Ark match, the value you get for like actually putting in the effort required to win your match, that's worth 270,000 gems. But again, completing a level of alliance mobilization is worth literally twice that much. The value of completing a level of alliance mobilization is worth roughly twice as much as winning an Ark match compared to losing it. Now, you can quibble with those numbers a little bit. You can say that, like, you know, not every single person who is who's getting these alliance mobilization rewards, they're not all like key players, right? Like, the 30 people who play Ark are like very, very important players. You can argue that like the farms who are getting these mobilization rewards are like not super important. But I mean, it's pretty close. It's pretty close, right? And so I just think alliance mobilization is like a very big deal. I think this event is actually like a very big deal, and as an alliance, you get a lot of value. You may not individually get a lot of value, but when you extrapolate it across a 150-person alliance, you get quite a bit of value for putting a lot of effort into this event and gaining that one extra level here and there. So I went on a bit of a rant there, and I was very curious whether whether people would keep watching or not. I'm glad that the viewership stayed consistent throughout that rant. Yeah, I don't know. I just I try to evaluate decision making in this game as best I can, and I think looking at gems is like a very interesting way to do it. I will go ahead and say I sort of hate to do this because I know a lot of people in 1770 are watching this. But, you know, lately I've been doing a lot of these barb camps, right? I've sort of like throughout the day been sending my marches to do these barb camps. And I roughly estimate that each barb camp is worth somewhere between they're worth somewhere between 80 to 100 gems, right? Because you know, you get a guaranteed 30 gems on each barb camp. You sometimes get universal speed ups, but unfortunately a lot of the time you get research speed ups or building speed ups, which are both worthless. You get the occasional AP pot, and you get the occasional green or blue equipment chest. Now, when you get a blue equipment chest, that's where the real value is, because those are worth 150 gems each. You also get a lot of gold keys, which is like really hard to estimate the value of gold keys at like my point in the game. Like, it's hard for me to say that a gold key is worth more than 100 gems, in all honesty. But anyway, the point being, right, I can definitely do like 30 of these per day. I can definitely do 30 barb camps a day. And on some days I do more. And so if they're worth like 80, if they're worth 80 gems each, then that's 2,400 gems in a day. Truth be told, on a day where I'm really grinding, I do more than 30 a day. So, like, if I do 40 of these at 80 each, that's like slightly over 3,000 gems per day. And so that's been like a pretty interesting guidepost for me recently, is like, if I do like heavy barb camp grinding in a single day, then I get like 3,000 gems of value. And you know, that's like bare bones, like grinding, right? That's like home kingdom, absolutely nothing to do. Like, you're getting value, but it's like definitely not the best value in the game type of stuff. And it's just like very interesting to compare like 3,000, to compare like getting 3,000 gems of value a day by like nonstop grinding barb camps versus doing like ranked Olympia over the course of an entire season, and you're getting like 19,600. I would say the barb camps are actually like better value for the effort that you put in, because doing barb camps really doesn't take all that much effort. But I mean, when I play Arc, when I win an Arc match, I'm getting like 18k of value, right? Right? I think we added up that Arc was worth like 18,000 gems. So like, I don't know. These are just the numbers. These are just like the sort of the numbers that are like affecting my life right now, because I'm spending like a lot of time playing Rise of Kingdoms. And I don't know, I just think it's interesting to compare these things. It's useful to compare these things. I think what stands out here is the Arc win. The Arc is clearly like very good value compared to like an entire season of Champions of Olympia. And the Alliance mobilization is also like very good value. Nugget says they aren't worthless. Yeah, but Nugget, the reason that I say the 30-minute speed ups are worthless is because I have so many of them. Right? I have 1,700 30-minute speed ups, and you can only convert 200 per KVK. So like, I'm never going to be able to convert those building speed ups that I get from barb camps, right? I mean, how long were those? They were 30 minutes, right? They were 30 minutes. Yeah, like look how many like 30-minute research speedups I have. I bet a lot of these are from doing barb camps over the years. Hum Farm says that level 12 is the best one to get to. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking the same thing, actually. Level 12 is like really, really good. I mean, level 15 is extremely good as well. But level 15 takes obviously like a lot more effort than level 12. I think for our alliance, level 12 is really like what we need to shoot for in general. And I hope we can make it this time. Like the thing is that like this particular alliance mobilization event is pretty much this is basically what we can accomplish, right? Like it's very, very difficult for us to accomplish a better score than we are going to accomplish in this one because number one, we're in the off season, right? We're fully focused on doing pointless grinding. And number two, More Than Gems very luckily appeared at the exact same time as More Than Gems appeared at the exact same time that alliance mobilization was happening, and so that allowed us to score higher on a bunch of events, right? I'm going to very quickly switch to my farm because I know I need to like start a heal on this thing. I am going to make a video about something in the future regarding my farm account. This is my main farm here. Because basically what I'm doing these days is I am using my AP. I'm like killing a bunch of barbs in the home kingdom on this farm. Because I have 1 million AP on this account. And I do have a bit of free time right now. So like I just kind of felt like it was a good time to use a bunch of AP on this account. So I have been grinding. I've been grinding some of this AP lately. I've been doing barb quests for alliance mobilization on this farm. Right now, I'm at 6 out of 6, doing all right. But I had to like fill up my hospital to do the Mightiest Governor kill event. So right now I don't have enough troops on this account to like have 5 full marches. But yeah, I've just been I've had a bunch of free time, so I've been doing a bunch of like semi-productive stuff in Rise of Kingdoms. Converting research speedups would definitely be insane, no doubt about it. But at least we get to use the research speedups for something, right? Like the building speedups we basically can't use for anything, for the most part, other than like building the buildings in Lost Kingdom. But at least with the research speedups, we get to use them on speeding up our crystal tech, right? I do very much appreciate everyone hanging out. Really good numbers on the stream tonight. I mean, I know it's like super late, so I was like really curious how many people would watch a stream at this hour. But really encouraging to see that our numbers have been good. Because I do plan to stream around this time when the 1093 960 KBK really kicks off, when the fighting starts. I'm sure there will be other people who stream it during the day, but I'm planning on being sort of the late night host of spectating that KBK. So I do hope you all will tune in for those streams as they come up over the next few weeks. We might be playing on a few other accounts here and there coming up. I need to talk to Addy actually about like a big account that I might be able to jump on the airlines of. And I think Eli may be looking for a little bit of help in 1079's KVK that's coming up very soon. So lots of good content coming up. We're in a bit of a slow patch right now, but very, very good content coming up over the next weeks and months. I'm also hoping to give you all a sneak peek of the new ROK graphics very, very soon. But I think with that, I'm probably going to wrap up the stream. Looks like we have been going for just under 3 hours. It is summer here in Las Vegas. It's nice and hot out. My neighbors upstairs are either on vacation or they have moved out. My neighbors have not been home for about a week now. Their car is gone from the parking lot. It almost seems like somebody new has moved in, but he's like way, way quieter than my old neighbors. So last night I got a full night of sleep. I literally slept until about 2:30 in the afternoon and woke up feeling very, very good. Tonight I'm going to wrap up this stream. I'm going to chill out. I'm going to bring my chair out to my front stoop and sit on the stoop and hopefully break a sweat in this Vegas heat. It's a very chill, very quiet time in my life. It's a happy time in my life. And I very much appreciate everybody who hangs out on the stream, participates in the chat, throws likes on the stream, gives donations. Lug, I appreciate the donation you gave tonight. Seba, Algebra, thank you for your memberships. Thank you everybody for supporting my content. I enjoy doing it, and if you all keep showing up to watch, I will keep showing up to talk. And so until next time, I will see you all on the flip side.